Okay.
Okay.
Good morning, fellow humans, ladies and gents. We are here today as M and V. You know us, you love us, and we are here to talk about the art of dance. What do we mean by that? Well, you'll just have to listen in and find out. In the meantime, even though you can't see it, M is currently doing dance moves. And now M is embarrassed.
That
Okay.
was supposed to be a secret between us.
Alrighty, guys. So we have a couple of bullet points that we want to share with you, and then we have some personal anecdotes when it comes to the art of dance. And just briefly before we begin, I want to explain why I personally chose this message. A long, long time ago, in the little old city, I think of Bellingham. I believe it was Bellingham. I was studying masculine and feminine energy, and I came to the conclusion, lying in my bed, that dancing, or the art of dance, specifically partner dancing, although that you can do it solo as well, partner dancing is a form of masculine energy and feminine energy working together. And it intrigued me so much that I felt like I wanted to go out and learn how to dance. So I ended up doing that, and I'm not the best dancer, but I still love this topic. So before we jump in, I'm going to ask Anne if she wants to add anything, or otherwise we're just going to jump into the bullet points.
I got some clarification.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we start earlier than that, like being interested in dance?
I think so. I forgot. That's why I was fumbling on my words.
Oh, okay. So,
We were. I remember.
wait,
Because we
don't
used to
dox
take
us
the
now.
ferry.
Don't dox us now.
Okay, I can block that out.
You mean we still don't live at like Nantuka Street?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, probably it'd be good to give some like background in like what kind of dances we learned.
Would you like to enlighten the people?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. So, V, being the go-getter that she is, invited me to take dance lessons at a city that we live near. And we ended up going to Bachata first and foremost. But like any good dance school, I would assume, there's just a bunch of other dances that you can learn there. And so we also ended up getting into salsa there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I think because we really enjoyed our time there, there was like Sunday dances, right?
I think so. Every Sunday.
Yeah, and it was really cheap to get in, wasn't it?
Yep.
And just like the vibe of people that just wanted to like go and connect without it being like this weird sexual thing, just more of like let's have fun and dance. It like I don't know, it really caught my attention and I think V also. So we ended up continuing that a little bit in Bellingham. So
That's true.
that's our background a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. But sorry, off to you again, V.
Yeah, no, that's a great way to let people know a little bit more about us and to know that we are human and we like to do little human things.
Hmm.
If it's okay, I would like to go into the benefits that
Yeah, go ahead.
dancing has.
Hmm.
So I have here, let me count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 very short sentences on the benefits of what it is to dance or to dance, especially with partners. I specify that because we can do both ways, both solo or partner wise. Firstly and foremost, I have that it does re-energize you. By the way, these points are not my own. I got them from a website that I don't remember. Don't feel like going back to it because I don't want to do all that work. But I do know that these are from a website, so feel free to look it up yourselves.
Mhm.
As I was saying, it helps you to re-energize by releasing endorphins, which gives you energy any time of the day. It also increases strength building, believe it or not, because it does work many different muscles, including often less used muscles. So your legs, your arms, all that good stuff. It is a stress relief because it does reduce cortisol levels, which is beneficial for many reasons, which include reducing stress. So after a good long day of work, maybe go to a dance class, help relieve a little bit of your stress, or just dance by yourself. Mind and memory. So this one is interesting because it does improve the brain function and boost memories. Whether you're the follower or the leader, you have to learn how to do certain dance moves by memory. And then you also, as a follower, have to learn how to react in a certain way towards a certain dance move. So you have both ends that you have to meet. So that's why mind and memory is definitely important. And then we have 2 more points, guys. Music is therapy. It is therapeutic, and combined with dancing, it does provide many added benefits. Just a quick fun fact that has nothing to do with dancing. They found that Alzheimer patients actually respond well to music that they used to listen to back in their earlier days. It doesn't necessarily bring their full memory back, but it does have some added benefits, music. So that's just a little tidbit I wanted to add there. And then last but not least, it helps you to relax and refresh because it's like when life gets busy, it's good to take a break and do something fun like dance. So those are the 6 bullet points. I do have a couple more bullet points, I guess. I didn't put bullet points by them, so I don't know what to call them. Little notes. So before I go on to it, is there anything you wanted to add in?
Oh, just that, more on a casual note, I think with like the partner dancing or any type of like health benefit, like body wise, I think comparatively to a lot of other like intense sports, which can cause like damage to your body if done like very frequently, like running on your knees or like wrestling on everywhere in your body. I feel like dancing is one of those like healthy, active things that doesn't take a toll so much. And it's one of those things where you don't feel like you're working out. It feels like a fun thing you're doing with people.
Yeah. So it's funny that you say that about having fun with people. Slight, not tangent, it still has to do with dance, but basically what happened was when I came back to our city that we used to reside in mutually, I went to another dance class and there were different guys, so there are different leads. So you're going to figure this out if you ever do go partner dancing. Every guy is different, every girl is different, every in between is different for all that matters. But this one guy, he was very good at what he did, not because he was a perfect dancer, but because he listened to the girls that he was leading, and he would take the feedback. He wouldn't feel personally attacked or criticized, and he would just take that feedback and he would implement it on the next dance with the next partner if he changed partners. And it was very refreshing to have a gentleman who would actually listen and take care of us and still hold that masculine space. He was by no means this Casanova. He was a nerdy little high school kid in band. So attractive, though, how his energy was. And he was not afraid to stand up for himself. Different story, we won't go into that. But you could tell he had healthy masculine behavior. This next guy, I don't even think he was listening in the class. He was not good at all at dancing. And I'm not saying he was a bad guy, but you could tell that he just kind of didn't care. He was there probably just to get the credit, for all we know. He just wasn't really into the dancing. So when I danced with him, it was just awful. We just did the same basic move because he couldn't do anything else. And if he tried to I think at one point he got a little upset with me because I was visibly uninterested in him because he wasn't dancing. So as far as it being a good time, it can be a great time with the right dancer. But sometimes you get those other leads who just aren't leaders, unfortunately. Not that they can't be. They have the potential, but they just need to pay attention to the class. So that kind of leads me into my next 2 notes, what following means and what leading means. Again, I got these off of a website. They're not my personal words. But just to read it really quickly, it says following means if he doesn't give you the signal, you do nothing. I had a hard time with this personally. But that's what it means. If he gives you the wrong signal, you forget what you were expecting to do and you follow the new signal instead. No exceptions. So if you've ever seen people do partner dancings out on the floor and maybe they get the choreography wrong, you notice that for the good followers, she goes with the flow. She doesn't sit there and try to put in the step that it's supposed to be. She puts in the step that her lead accidentally gave her. So that's the hard part about being a follower. It's a good part, but it's also a difficult part about being a follow is being ready to move at any given moment to what the lead is requesting you to do. And lastly, this is what leading means. Leading means using just enough pressure to give a signal, but not so much that you're pushing your partner around. Very important. If you're using force to move your partner, you're doing it wrong. And I would argue not just using physical force, but using verbal force, because I have been criticized by male leads I think they were trying to give good feedback, but their message and delivery was off. So it just really messed up the whole dynamics of me wanting to ever dance with them again. It's because they were a little snooty in how they did it. Just throwing it out there, that was back when we were in college, okay? So she knows what that means. Those snooty people. All right, so I'm all done with my notes here. Would you like to add anything, Em?
Yeah, kind of going on a tangent of like leads and follows. I noticed that I understand that it's really difficult for leads, so usually like the male position, to like think of the moves and be like aware of the surroundings and all that jazz. But as a follower, at times, there have been partners where it's really clear that they feel unsure and they feel tense. And so when they lead you, kind of like that lead by force sort of thing, you feel it. And I remember there was one time you were there, I believe, but there was like a newer guy at the dance studio, right? When we were learning bachata.
Yeah.
And I remember like there was one move that they were teaching us where you had to like move the torso. Like the lead had to like shift to make the torso like go side to side. And by torso, I mean my torso. It's not just like a floating torso. But I think for me, I guess I was really sensitive to it, but he just seemed really stiff and like forceful, and I wasn't responding as well as I should have been. But I guess I was just getting like blocked up. You know how like you know what your body's doing and you realize it's not helping the situation. But your mind can realize that, but your body doesn't want to listen. So my body, like my mind was like, you gotta move with him even if he's like not doing so great. But my body was like, no, no.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if had you ever felt that, and I feel like that kind of connects to what you were saying about leads will say like unnecessary comments and that'll just like make it difficult to follow.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, like I said, every lead is different. Here's the thing. Back when I was at college in our city together, the young nerdy band kid, he listened when I told him. I said, I can't feel your movements. I wasn't trying to criticize him, but he was too gentle. So I explained to him, please, I can't feel your movements. I can't do this move unless you are just a little bit more stronger, I guess, in this movement. And he listened, and it was just enough pressure applied for me to follow. And I was so thankful for that. I remember in the same class, there was another girl. She was telling all the girls this, and I was like, I agreed with her. She was telling all the girls, oh my gosh, you see that guy over there? Band nerdy kid guy. Do you see him? He's like such a good dancer. Like, you should try dancing with him. He's such a good dancer. And in my head, I was like, girl, yes, he is. He deserves all the credit.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I've noticed like all the partners that I've been really like grateful for, either they're like significantly older, right? Or they look like they're in their 50s or 60s and they're just there, they've been dancing for a long time and they know you're new, so they don't really like give too much pressure on you. Or they're fairly young but really serious about dance.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I remember, what was it? I think this kid, he looked really young. He was at the salsa night And in my head, I was like, where are your parents? No shade on him. But but he ended up being a very nice dancer. Like, he led me very well. And I was like, oh, thank goodness. Uh, so it is interesting that you'll get like certain leads that know how to lead very well.
Yeah. No, I agree with that sentiment. Okay, so a little bit else, something else about me, guys.
Mhm.
I really like partner dance. I'm not the best at it, I'll put it that way. But I like it so much that I have on my list of things I want in a guy, I want him to be a dancer, or I want him to be open to dancing with me. Because I know not everybody I meet is going to be a dancer, and that doesn't make them a bad person. It just means they're not for me. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, I love dancing so much because for me it's a principle thing. I never do anything without purpose, or at least I usually don't do anything without purpose. Sometimes I can sleep for days, but it's it's something that's very near and dear to my heart because okay, so we're gonna get a little woo woo here. I was thinking about things like how the universe was created and all of this and that. And when you think about the universe and you think about a lot of things in life, it's all an ebb and flow. It's all masculine and feminine energy coming together and letting go. It's all a dance. So for me, dancing is not just a fun time, although yes, it is. It's like a spiritual time almost for me. I don't know if you probably have thought that deeply about it. But I know for myself that when I dance, like I dance with intention. Like I want it to be a great dance, and I just want to connect with this person for the next 2 to 3 minutes that we have together. And I also feel like you can tell a lot about the man. Okay, as a female follow, you can tell a lot about a man, in my opinion, based off of how he dances and his dance style. And I'm not talking about bachata versus salsa versus, that kind. But I mean, is he a strong lead? Is he like everything we've been talking about, is he a strong lead? Is he a very relaxed follower and he doesn't really do much except for the two-step? And that doesn't make them bad dancers either. Just want to put a caveat there. It could be that it's just not their forte to shine in. Some men prefer to dance and they like to dance, so they're going to shine in those arenas. But for the ones who don't do well at dancing, this doesn't make them a bad man. But it does tell a lot about them, in my opinion, as far as like their dancing style goes. So maybe you just got to put them in a different arena. But overall, I just think it's very interesting what dancing can tell you. There was a study that I found a while ago, and I couldn't find it to save the life of me. I was so mad. But it basically talked about how females will actually rate the sexuality of male dancers based on how well their dance was together. So I had the best dance of my life when I was in Bellingham. I've told him this before, but there was this guy, and he was barely taller than me. We were probably neck and neck, height to height, and he just had on this raggedy white shirt and some jeans. He was not looking cute. His hair was a little raggedy, and I was judging him. And he was supposed to be like the teacher for the dance, and he was like, okay, you do this and stuff like that. And he was teaching the dance class that we had like 5 minutes before the actual dance started, and he taught us how to do the dance. So we got over with the dance instruction, and I went to the dance floor. This dude followed me. I was panicking. I was like, I know he's not following me to dance with me because I'm a bad dancer. He kept following me. I was like, this guy is determined. I was running away literally on the dance floor. And finally he got to me. He's like, can I have this dance? I was like, shit. Because I'm so used to all these other guys telling me I'm a bad dancer. So I believed it. We finally do our dance. He does this one amazing move that I'll never forget. And at the end of the dance, he goes, you're a great dancer. I was like, oh my goodness, you think I'm a great? I was flattered because he was such an amazing dancer. And he said, did you do any other dances? And I'm like, oh, bachata, like that's about it. And he's like, that's why you're a good dancer. I was like, no, it's not, but thank you. And ever since then, like I was kind of eyeing him on the dance floor for the rest of the night. I was like, that's my man. And then I saw him dancing with other dudes. I saw him dancing with
Such a
other
quick
dudes.
turnaround, you know? Like such a quick turnaround, B. Like this raggedy dude was chasing me. Now he's my man.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So I was mad because I found him dancing with another guy, and I'm like, man, now he's bisexual. Too much competition.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, sorry for my really long rant, but I just wanted to tell you guys that because I thought it was interesting for you guys to know a little bit more about me, why
Mhm.
dancing matters to me, why it's just a beautiful thing. That's why I want to do to dance. Like, even if he's a beginner level, we're going to dance class together. Whoever my dude is, man, M, you're going to have to tell him I needs a dancer. You got to
Okay.
dance or you can't be with her. Oh, crap, I said my name. But yeah, you know what I mean.
But yeah, I think a lot of people from the outside will like hear about partner dancing and be like, "Oh, that's just an excuse to like hook up with people." You know what I mean? And I feel like more guys will think that, like that have never been to any partner dancing.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this is like a weird thing that our culture has kind of gotten rid of, and I'm not sure why. Like social dances, I think, yeah, there was like a little bit of like sexual tension in that sometimes you would just take your like romantic partner to a dance.
Mm-hmm.
But there were a lot of times where like anybody could come up to you and ask you to dance, and anybody could like, it would just be a time to get to know people. And it didn't have to have all of this like large, heavy tension around it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just like a fun thing you do with people. And it was
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a way to bridge the gap between genders without it being weird.
Mm-hmm. I agree wholeheartedly.
Now
Mm.
I think there's like too much like pressure and tension on like even contacting or like mildly handshaking.
You get all sweaty.
I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. You know? But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Thank you, V, for all of your research on this topic.
Uh, I looked up like 3 pages and I was like, I'm taking these.
And I think like you brought up some really interesting points that I think is in the defense of supporting and continuing dance.
Yes.
Yes.
Everybody should be dancers. We should all be dancers. Even if you're a solo dancer,
Mhm.
I want to do flamenco dancing because that's a solo dancing. Yeah, exactly. With my
All right.
castanets.
If you get into it, send me videos of yourself
Dude,
dancing. Don't
I'm
take
gonna.
it weird, audience. Don't take it weird.
Yeah.
Uh, but anyway, I think we're about finished with our conversation, right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Uh,
Are you good?
yeah, I'm content with the ending.
Okay. Would you like to give the outro?
The outro? Sure, I can do that.
Okay.
All right, fellow humans, this was M and V and our discussion on dancing and everything in between. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you next time.
Alrighty.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.